Hey everyone, welcome back to NPC Dungeon. Today I have a bit of a pixel art time-lapse prepared for you all. By the time I made this time-lapse, it had been a minute since I've actually made a lot of pixel art for my channel, so I decided to ease myself back into it. First, by taking an old sprite that I already made and remodeling it into something new. Second, by making a new sprite in my usual form, very humanoid, front-facing, 48, probably a little bit less, but starting out with a 48 pixel tall space that I set out for myself. And thirdly, by making a completely different form in a 32 pixel tall format that ended up being a kind of a gargoyle kind of shape. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get started and let's draw something. So to start off, we have a gnome that I made a very long time ago. I actually made this guy to be part of my video that I released called The Night Before the Ball. I actually made this video long before that episode came out, before I took my break from telling stories, that is. You can see I'm kind of giving him a top hat right now. I'm trying to remodel him into a magician, like a stereotypical kind of magician character. I spent a long time trying to get the bill of the hat just right, have the side parts kind of flaring out. I spent a lot of time looking back and forth between the hat and then some reference images as well. I wanted his eyes just tucked behind it, but it didn't look right, so I added a little bit of specula there, the light shining on the eye, and all of a sudden they look like eyes. I added a bit of a bow tie there. Something that I'll do whenever I'm making a form that ends up being too big, I'll find the simplest shapes that I can, make them smaller and put them in part of the form. You can see I kind of changed the clothes he's wearing underneath the over kind of jacket there he's wearing. I tried to draw an arm, but it didn't look right. The shoes, I wanted a completely different shoe shape. I want this guy to be very fancy, very showy. And obviously it's got to have a cape. You can't have a magician without a cape. After I do that, there's no need to really do a lot of like fiddling with the line work here. A lot of the line work has already been done ahead of time. I did it before, but just adding in a little bit of highlights, just kind of horizontally across the jacket and across the hat there. With all that done, I'm adding the outline colors here just to touch it up just a little bit. And here's the final product. I put him in front of the NPC dungeon stage that I made from my intros that I put some of my sprites on occasionally. You can see some of the reflection that I worked in there, the highlights along the arm and the shoes. Again, I love the highlights at the end of the shoes. Even if it's not where the light source is coming from, I put it there anyway. I know I probably should have taken into account the light source of the signs behind him, but I made that before I put him in that setting, so that's what we have. And here's the second sprite. As I said in the beginning of this video, I decided to make this second sprite completely new, not modeled after anything, not done after anything. I was going to make an elf kind of thing. This is actually a character from my current campaign, an NPC rather from my current campaign. I kind of made the eyes off to the side. Don't worry, I didn't forget where the face was. I often make eyes to the side so I can see them in their full view, so I can actually make them and then put them in front of the face. I wanted him to look very fancy. I wanted him to look very well put together, so I made the hair kind of like just combed a little bit. I'm trying to work with the collar right now, and I honestly think I nailed that shape. That's something that I often struggle with, having the collar of like the shirt and then the jacket collars coming out there. Something else that I do, I block out the body and I carve it out from there. You can see I did that here as well. The arms came last. I went for arms like at the hips at first, and I just kind of put them behind the back, just kind of tucked back there a little bit. Something I also try to do is try to make the form as small as I can. So when I'm making a sprite, I'll kind of like size it down just to get the most use out of my pixels and my shapes. I did it with the legs, and I added a little bit of like wrinkles there for the pants. Again, just highlights on the shoes, highlights on the legs there. And after I'm done with the outline colors here, let's take a look at the finished product. I put him in front of my usual street background. I think he fits nicely there. I think the colors kind of match what's kind of going on in the rest of the scene. And lastly, we have a Gargoyle sprite. This was based off of a character that one of my players is playing right now in one of my campaigns, kind of an artificer gargoyle. You can see, to kind of get this across, I gave them these very big like goggles over their eyes. I'm not going too heavy with the artificer theme, just enough to get across what this character is. I'm working with very simple shapes. I kind of elongated the body there. I made the arms just like simple tubes. Like I said, I'm trying to keep things kind of simple here. I really played around with those teeth kind of coming out there for a while. The feet were kind of weird. I wanted to make legs at first. Then I was like, it would be simpler if I just put the feet shapes in front of the body and you know what it is. You know their feet. So I just kind of kept those in. I wanted to put toes on them as well, but in this sizing that I gave for myself, I didn't feel like resizing the entire thing up. I liked what I had going here, so I just kind of kept it the way it was. I went a little crazy with the shading. You can see I only used a couple different colors. It's all mainly purple, but I used like a gray doled out kind of purple gray color for the teeth, for the horns, for the gloves there. I added a little bit of a shiny kind of reflection on the goggles there for the eyes, just to kind of give it more of like a, I don't know, personable kind of look. And there's the finished product, a little animation there as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to check out 2 of my previous videos that'll be appearing on your screen here in a second. I release new pixel art time lapses with commentary on Sundays. Of course, still look out for my story videos released on every Saturday and my DM advice videos released on every Friday. I'm going to start releasing more short form pixel art time lapses as well, so keep an eye out for those in shorts. If you liked this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you really liked it, and comment down below if you have any feedback or just want to say hi. I try to respond as often as I can. Again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, let's draw something.